Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today we're going to be looking at the latest collaboration between Tripowin and Hawaiian Bad Boy. This one is called the Kailua, which is a city in Hawaii. And as you can see, here's the unit right here. And before we get into anything, let's switch over my notes to the technical details of this. So this one is a dual driver. One of the drivers is a 10mm diamond-like carbon, and the other one is a 6mm titanium coated dynamic. The sensitivity of this is 106 decibels. The impedance is 19 ohms. The frequency response is a weird 12 to 36 kilohertz. Rated power is 5 milliwatts. Cable wise, it is 1.2 meters, which is basically every cable I've ever reviewed. And it is a high purity OCC copper cable with a 2-pin connector, standard 2-pin, and it is 0.78 millimeter. Always remember that last part. There are a dozen different types of length cables and thicknesses and types of cables. There's gold cables, there's silver cables, there's plated cables and pure cables. Always remember your connector. That 0.78 millimeter, you cannot stick that in a 0.75 slot. You will break the things off and it'll basically be a useless cable and a useless IM. Just remember that, because I have done that years ago when I first started. It is a 3.5 millimeter straight connector. There's usually straight or L shapes. To me, it doesn't really matter either way. It should be noted that this is a very small 3.5 millimeter. So if you have a phone case and it has like the annoying thing and you can't stick a lot of different things in, like my last on my Samsung, I got one of those like otter cases that come in like 3 or 4 different parts and you clip them together, and I could not get like 90% of the plugs to work in it. This one will fit any case. It'll go right in, so that's cool. That's what I like about that. I usually use this type of connector straight in like my desktop stuff, and L-shaped I find I like to take out for like mobile stuff, except for the phone, of course, if you're just using a pure phone. Cable wise, let's get into the cons. Cable wise, this is a really soft, formable cable. It goes right into this coil and doesn't want to pop out like the other cable I have right up here that won't stay in a spiral. It just wants to go all over the place. Of course, that one's thicker by a little bit, but it's a good quality cable. It may not be the best cable out on the market, but it is a decent quality cable. It is just thinner. I mean, if you got it, like if you were going out and you got it caught in the car door or something, there's a good chance you're going to pull it apart, yeah. But if you're cautious with it, it should last a long time. The body-wise on this, solid metal. Contrary to belief, this isn't the Belon shell, because this is not flat on this side. It is much rounder. To me, this looks like a West Tone. Like almost like the exact shape of it, only this one is maybe a little smaller. Nice shape, but the nozzle is a little on the smaller side. It's not a very long nozzle, so it's a short nozzle. Easily fixed by air tips. You can get air tips like SpinFit. They always have like that extra part of the inside that kind of makes it go up a little bit, or you can get conical foamies if you're into foamies. So not a big deal, it being a short nozzle. Just wanted to let you know. Those are about the only 2 cons that I can think of for this. I like the colors. Comes in a large variety of colors. You get white, black, and titanium. Now I have seen, obviously, this blue. I didn't even actually see this blue. I saw the white that looked like it had like a purplish pink. Looked like a Barbie kind of ear thing. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, honestly, I love colors that pop. I have seen, I think, a purple with a black, and this is titanium blue, I guess. That's what they mean by it. So anyway, Let's get on to the sound impressions, because that's the most important thing here. Build quality, like I said, very good. The unit itself is all metal. It looks like it's a solid build. It should last for years, hopefully. The cable, that's subjective. I personally have no problem with the cable. Would I put a replacement on it? Probably. And tip-wise, in the box, let me just move that out of the way. You're going to get these two tips. You're going to get these kind of odd-shaped kind of half cone things, and then you got to get standard dome looking ones. I don't know. I'm using the dome ones for the purpose of testing it. I mean, they're not bad, but I am going to switch it out and see what it sounds like afterwards. I always try to do things stock first. So let's start with the bass. Okay, mid bass is a little bit more powerful than the kind of almost neutral kind of sub bass. Now, not that it is bass light, it definitely has some good bass. If you start listening to like anything that's bass boosted, like a YouTube video, or if you listen to like hip hop or some pop music or K-pop, that bass is there. The sub bass is there. You can actually, you can hear it really, really, really good. So it is far from bass light, but it is definitely not bass centered. So mid bass is more present. Sub bass is there, maybe just a little bit behind it, a little bit more towards a kind of like a more balanced, neutral kind of bass sound for the sub. Good impact, decent speed. I would say that it bleeds tiny bit into the mids. Now you get into the mids, and the mids do have at least the lower ones, they do have kind of like a nice warmth to them. There's a little thickness there, but not. It depends on the source that I was using. If I'm using a brighter source, like say I was using this, which is a little bit brighter, depending on how you tune the bass on it. It wasn't too bad. The mids are very, very good, to be honest. They have a nice kind of presentation, where I found that they had they were just full sounding, and they had rich, and the timbre on them was very, very good. It was natural, and they weren't too forward and they weren't back. They were just kind of like really, really good positioned, like if you were in a live performance and the band was behind them. Moving on to the highs. The highs are more on the relaxed kind of state. It isn't like a super, sparkly kind of presentation. There is energy there. There isn't a lot of energy. It doesn't overextend. They're just kind of relaxed and chilling in the background. And you do get some details. There's some nice cymbal going on there and everything. And there's some air. But it is more toward like a more relaxed presentation with the highs. So treble sensitive people, they'll definitely like this a lot. Moving on to the staging. The staging on this was decent. I would say it's above average, but it isn't super wide. It is just kind of this kind of natural zone in front of you. Imaging, layering, and separation are very good. Definitely accurate. But staging on it was just a little bit above average, kind of average, above average. It depends on what you're listening on and on. Nothing to like say this is holographic and you can use it for gaming or anything else like that. But it still was good. Ultimately, this is a well-made, for my ears at least, comfortable. It is on the smaller side. So, if you're laying in the bed or sleeping with it on, or you fall asleep with it on, shouldn't be much of a big deal unless you have really small ears. Maybe it might bother you a little bit. But the shape is ergonomic. It's made well. This cable is very, very soft. My only thing would, I'd probably get rid of the tips, use some other tips with this, because these tips are just, they're just on the air side. Ultimately, I like this. It's a nice, really nice sounding. It's decent all around. It's got really good mids. They're just rich. They have a good body, and it's got decent bass as well. So this one is just a really good kind of all-arounder that you can just put in your bag and take with you wherever you're going. It's not overly fun. It's not overly boring. It's just good. And if that sounds like something you want to take with you, to something that doesn't have any harshness, something that doesn't offend, yeah, excellent. It's a non-offensive, harmon-tuned, comfortable, kind of cool-looking IAM. This has been the Tripowin HBB Kailua. Do I like it? I am not. I'm gonna have to be like shooting out with the JoJo to see if I like this better than the JoJo, and that's about it. Thank you so much for watching. Be safe, and I'll see you in the next video.